Shuru.
जी.
Continue. Okay, good. Oh, it was right up there. वेरी नाइस, बड़ी अच्छी धुन थी,
बहुत अच्छी थी। संगीत वही सच्चा होता है जो श्रोताओं के आत्मा को छू जाता है। आपने बहुत ऐसा गाया मधुर कि हमारे आत्मा को छू गया। सो आज मेरा मूड है कुछ राग केदार गाने का। सो केदार का मैं थोड़ा आरोह अवरोह बताऊंगा और उसके बाद कोई भी हमारी मिस्टेक हो तो हमको बताएगा चंदन जी।
राग में था भोपाली राग। इस वक्त संध्या के टाइम भोपाली का है ना, तो मैंने जो धुन गाई थी अभी वो भोपाली में।
बहुत अच्छी, बहुत अच्छी।
सही है, इसके पकड़ है सा मा मा पा मा पा धा पा मा सा रे सा काना रे नंद नंदन परम मन की शक्ति देना, मन विजय करे, दूसरों की जय से पहले खुद को जय करे। हमको मन की शक्ति देना, मन विजय करे, दूसरों की जय से पहले
खुद को जय करे। हमको मन की शक्ति देना, मन विजय करे। दूसरों की जय से पहले खुद को जय करे। हमको मन की शक्ति देना। भाव हमने दिल से साफ कर सके। भेद भाव अपने दिल से साफ कर सके। दोस्तों से भूल हो तो माफ कर सके। दोस्तों से भूल हो तो माफ कर सके। झूठ से बचे रहें, सच का दम भरे। झूठ से बचे रहें, सच का दम भरे। दूसरों की जय से पहले खुद को जय करे। हमको मन की शक्ति देना। मुश्किलें पड़े तो हम इतना कर्म कर। मुश्किलें पड़े तो हम इतना कर्म कर। साथ दे तो धर्म का, चले तो धर्म पर। साथ दे तो धर्म का, चले तो धर्म पर। खुद पे हौसला करे, बदी से ना करे। हमसे हौसला करे, बदी से ना करे। दूसरों की जय से पहले खुद को जय करे। हमको मन की शक्ति देना।
I think now Kumaji can sing one, and then after that Ushaji is.
Yeah. Kumaben, you are unmute yourself. Kumaben. Kumaben, you have to unmute.
Okay, I'll do Mangal Prarthana. I think that will be okay, right? Okay. तेरा मंगल मेरा मंगल सबका मंगल होय रे, सबका मंगल सबका मंगल सबका मंगल होय रे। जिस गुरुदेव ने धर्म दिया है उसका मंगल होय रे, जिस जननी ने जन्म दिया है उसका मंगल होय रे। पाला पोसा और बढ़ाया उस पिता का मंगल होय रे, इस जगत के सब दुखियारे प्राणी का मंगल होय रे। जल में स्थल में और गगन में सबका मंगल होय रे, अंतर मन के गाथे टूटे अंतर निर्मल होय रे, राग द्वेष और मोह मिट जाए शील समाधि होय रे, शुद्ध धर्म धरती पर जागे पाप पराजित होय रे, इस धरती के तरतिन में कण कण में धर्म समाय रे, शुद्ध धर्म जन जन में जागे घर घर शांति समाय रे, तेरा मंगल मेरा मंगल सबका मंगल होय रे। जय श्री कृष्ण।
Has joined us, and I don't know. Jatin ji? Okay, he's here. So is it almost 6:30?
Not yet. We have 6 more minutes.
6 more minutes. Okay,
One-
so
one
let's
good
have
bhajan.
one more bhajan.
One more bhajan.
One more
Usha
bhajan.
there. Usha ji can sing once bhajan. Ji.
तो होटल यो करे छे
ताजी ताजी रोटी बन रही है गर्मा गर्म गर्मा गर्म
खाने को आ जाइए।
बिल आ जाते हैं।
चंदन जी आप लीजिए और या मैं लूंगी, आप लीजिए एक भजन।
हाँ जी,
आप एक भजन गाइए, या तो आप गाइए या मैं गा लूंगी।
जी आप गाइए। आपने
आप लीजिए, हम आपको सुनेंगे।
मैं तो गाती हूँ।
अच्छा तो मैं एक भजन गाती हूँ।
गाओ, आप गाती है मैं गाऊं?
ओह यू वांट टू सिंग?
बोलते हैं तो गा सकती हूँ मैं।
गो अहेड सिंग।
मेरा वीडियो कहाँ गया? छोड़।
उषा बेन यू सिंग।
मैं क्यों बहुत सारी 4 उषा है, ऐसे कौन सी उषा में कंफ्यूज हो गई थी।
आप वाले ही हैं, आज आप ही हैं।
ये आपका फेवरेट है, लेकिन मैं गा रही हूँ, बहुत दिन से गाया नहीं है। हे चंद्रमौली हे चंद्रशेखर हे शंभो त्रिलोचन हे संकट विमोचन हे त्रिपुरारी अर्चन जय जय हे शंकर हे भस्मांग सुंदर हे पशुपति हरिहर हे चंद्रमौली हे चंद्रशेखर कंठे धरी छे ते सर्पोनी माळा तव तांडवे बाजे डमरू निराळा ते शैलराजे कीधुं रे दृढासन त्रिनेत्रे कीधुं रतिपतिनु विसर्जन हे चंद्रमौली हे चंद्रशेखर प्रभु विश्व काजे ते शिर गंगाधारी पर्वत दुहितानि पूजा स्वीकारी जगमंगलार्थे ते असुरो संहार्या पीने हळाहळ ते पथ कई प्रसार्या हे चंद्रमौली हे चंद्रशेखर हे शंभो त्रिलोचन हे संकट विमोचन हे त्रिपुरारी अर्चन जय जय हे शंकर हे भस्मांग सुंदर हे पशुपति हरिहर हे चंद्रमौली हे चंद्रशेखर। जय श्री कृष्ण।
जय श्री कृष्ण। ओके जतिन जी, आपको हमने को होस्ट बना दिया है, सो इट्स ऑल योर्स। आप म्यूट हैं, आप म्यूट पे हैं।
यू आर ऑन म्यूट जतिन भाई।
Dimant, a little doom, a short धुन।
आप शॉर्ट धुन दीजिए धीमन भाई।
है ना जतिन भाई,
आप गाओ जतिन
आप
भाई।
गाए कि हमको कह रहे हैं?
आप
I'm telling you।
ओके।
श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। गीता पढ़ो मैं गीता सुनो मैं गीता हृदय में आके पढ़ो मैं नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। राधे कृष्ण 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 राधे कृष्ण कृष्ण। विठ्ठल 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 गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण
All right. We're ready. Okay.
Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma Vitvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Hari Om. So let's continue with our book Sadhana Panchakam. So Sadhana Panchakam has only 5 shlokas, and each shloka has 4 lines, and each line has 2 halves. So total 40 different sadhanas described by Shankaracharya ji. We finished 20 of those, so we are halfway through. So we are on the 3rd shloka, and in the previous 4 shlokas, in the 3rd shloka, 4 statements which were made, 4 sadhanas which were described by Shankaracharya ji was, 1, we have to reflect on the commandments in Upanishad. And those commandments are called Mahavakyas. And Mahavakyas are 4, 1 from each Vedas. And they are 4 which we described last time, which begins with Prajnanam Brahma. That means that consciousness which we are itself is Bhagavan. 2, Tattvamasi, that thou art. Brahman and Atma are same. There is no difference, and so is the Jivatma. The 3rd, Ayam Atma Brahma. That means that my Atma itself is Brahman. There is no difference. And the last, Aham Brahmasmi. So that makes me Bhagavan. That makes me Brahman. That is the essence. Our essence is the same as that of the Brahman. So that is 17th shloka, 17th statement. The next 18th statement is take the surrender, take refuge in the statement or in the knowledge that I am Brahman. What does that mean? Whenever there is a difference of opinion, no person is correct. No learned man is correct. No Swami is correct. No Santa is correct. The only correct thing is Vedas. Whatever is written in the Veda is the final authority. It is Pramana. So we live by the rules of Vedas. That's what is, take the refuge in the truth of Brahman, what is written in the Vedas. That's a final authority. So it takes away the authority of every individual. We are only following what the scriptures say. We have authority to give the current examples. Like if we are living in this life, then in this day and age, whatever is happening, we can talk about it. That's okay. But it must be based, the theory must be based in Vedas. Third, avoid unnecessarily useless arguments. The things which we argue on Saturday night party is basically meaningless. I want this party. I like this party. I like Congress. I like Namo, or I like Donald Trump, or I like governor. All those things are opinions. It doesn't mean anything. So there is no sense. And sometimes we argue on that topic for a whole evening. And then the whole group of people divided into two. And one is in favor of one person, another is in favor of another person. One likes one kind of house, one like one kind of tourism. So there are different opinions, but those things are totally irrelevant. Don't waste time. So that is, avoid perverse arguments, which doesn't make sense. Do not continue. Give up, let it go. Okay, you win. I'm done. And the last, follow Shruti. Well, every single time when we discuss, we talk about it, that follow Vedas. Shrutis is Vedas. That Shruti means actually what is heard. Our Hinduism is called Darshan Shastra. That means that what we experience when we meditate, what we visualize, what we understand, our scriptures, Vedas, that is follow that and nothing else. Well, every religion says that basically, that if you are a Christian, then they will say, okay, follow Bible, nothing else. Well, it must have a similar information. And the same thing is in every single religion. There is a book, there is a text, and that needs to be followed. It's perfectly fine. As a matter of fact, in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, is that whatever is your faith, I will make it stronger. So he's not talking about Hindus. He's talking about all the religions in the world. And today we have almost 100 plus. 4 or 5 of them are major religions. But there are smaller religions the people follow in one country only, or one area of one country only. That's fine with us. As long as you have a faith, Lord Krishna will say that I will make your faith stronger. So we are open to it as long as you are legitimately following something and not the cult. Okay. So the 21st shloka, 21st statement, let's see that. So this is the next sadhana to be followed. And what does it say? Brahma smriti vibhagyatam. It means always be absorbed in the attitude that I am Brahman. So what does that mean? We studied that 10 times by now. So what does it mean? From the beginning of time, in our first life and second life and third life and fourth life, this might be our millionth life. We don't know how many lives we had in the past. But from the beginning of time, we understood one thing, and one thing very, very clearly. I am my body. I am Jiva. I am my ego. And we keep repeating that. Who are you? I am Jatin. And then on further questioning, I will keep on describing, this is my father, this is my mother, this is my religion, this is where I was born, this is the language I speak, this is the college I went to, this is my wife, this is my husband, these are my children, my boys and my girls and grandchildren, whatever. We keep describing who are you as I am this person. That is what? That is my ego. And that ego we are born with and we die with. And sometimes even after death, we make the plans so that people remember us as who we are. We make a big picture and put it in the house. We make a big, beautiful statue and put it in the main entrance of our palace. Why? I want people to remember who I am. So we never forget that. Who I am my body. This is who I am. And I want the whole world to remember this is who I am. And here, Bhagavan says what? I am Brahman. I am Atma. So this was very well described. And actually, it was the theme of a book that we studied here. Who am I? And there are the biggest example given was who is a seer and who is sin. What is a seer and what is sin? So if I make a little summary of that, what does it mean? That my eyes can see the world. So I see the world. I cannot be the world. I am the eyes. My mind sees my eyes. So I am not eyes. I am my mind. And my Sakshi or my Atma knows my mind. So we say that also. I know I am upset today. I know I'm happy today. I know I have aggravations today. So who is that I who knew my mind? That I is my Atma. That is who I am. This is the whole theme of Dirigdrishya Viveka. Dirigdrishya Viveka is a book. And the theme of this book is I am that Atma who knows my mind, my eyes, my ears, my education, my world. Everything is seen by me. And I am that who is the knower of my mind and intellect. And that is consciousness. That is Sakshi. That is higher than, subtler than my mind. So it is very systematically taught that who am I? I am not this ego. But do we forget that? We never forget that. We always remember, I am my ego. I did this and I did that. I possess this. I own this. I am the author of this text. It is always what is either my possessions, my wealth, my family, my position in the society. Who am I? I'm the president of this organization. I'm the secretary of this organization. I'm the owner of this house. It's always the description of what I own rather than who I am. And that who I am, the answer is I am Brahman. So we heard this so many times. Why can't we follow that? Why can't we understand it? Because what we have misunderstood has come from many, 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 many lives in the past. And in this life, it came from our birth. Since the day we are born, we understood one thing, I am this body. And mother says the same thing, the father says the same thing, the brother says the same thing, the sister says the same thing. And when we go out, the world says the same thing. So it is so much ingrained in our mind that we cannot forget it. We cannot forget it, and we cannot try to remember, even if we want to remember, that I am Brahman, I am Atma. That we cannot remember. But it has a tremendous benefit. If we have time, we should sit for 15, 20 minutes and close our eyes and think and do little chintanam, little analysis in our own mind. What is the benefit of knowing that I am Atma? Why, how does it help us? Then we know very clearly, I am never born. This body is born. I will never die. This body will die. And this I will take rebirth But this body, whom I think I am, is very temporary. It only lasts 50, 60, 70, 80 years. That's nothing. Even if we live 100, that's nothing compared to our first birth. And I continued from that first birth until today. And I don't know how many more births I will have, that I will continue, that I will be born, I will go to heaven, I will come back as a Maharshi, I will come back as a Jnani, I will come back as a multi-millionaire, I will come back as A, B, C, D, E. So that I, which we think is this body, doesn't go easy. But if we think that I'm Atman, then I'm never born, I will never die, I'm never sick, my body is sick. I am not old, I'm not young. This is who I am. Even if I'm right now at 71, but I may be 81, I may be 91, I may be 101. What is my age? I don't have age. I just have a temporary birth right now. And even if I die tomorrow, it doesn't matter. My body died. I did not die. What religion do I have? I have no religion. I have no varna. I'm not even this species. I am that consciousness which now took a birth as a human being. So it just so happened that in this life, I am a human being. In the next life, I may not be a human being. Then all the states of my mind, they are not my mind. They're not me. They are the states of my mind. Happiness, it's the state of my mind. Upset is the state of my mind. Nervous is the state of my mind. Joy is the state of my mind. Sorrow is the state of my mind. It's not me. And once we start thinking in those terms, two things happen. One is that we are always blissful because I'm not suffering. I'm not upset. I'm not rich. I'm not poor. Nobody insults me. They insult my body. They insult my mind. Somebody says something, well, it doesn't touch me because I am not this body and I am not this mind. So how can I be upset? So I am in bliss at all times. Don't we want that? We all want that from the very beginning. Actually, other species also want that. Even the dog wants to be in bliss. Even the cat wants to be in bliss. Animals want to be happy. Everybody wants to be happy. And we will be happy once we figure it out that I am that consciousness. I am that Atman. And the second is equipoise. What does that mean? Equanimity. What does that mean? Whether you win or you lose. Whether you gain something or you lose something. Whether you have happiness or we have a sorrow. Whether we have pain or we have sukha, dukkha. All of these, whether somebody praises me or somebody criticizes me. So these two opposites will have no meaning. That is wonderful state of mind. If somebody praises me, I become happy. If somebody criticizes me, I become very angry. So the best situation is I don't become angry and I don't become unnecessarily get bloated either, because that is not necessarily true. When somebody praises you, there is sometimes a reason behind why somebody is praising you. But if nothing affects us and we are at equanimity at all time and blissful at all time, this is the state of mind we want. That is called moksha. We are looking for it, but we are not using the right word. So always have the attitude, Brahmasmiti vibhavyatam. That means have an attitude at all times. I am Atma. I am Brahman. That takes care of all the problems of our life. We don't have to go to the doctor. We never have to go to the therapist. That's because our mind is really under control. So that is 21st sadhana. Now next sadhana. Sadhana is a spiritual practice. And in our mind, we should practice in a certain way. That is our sadhana. So we went through 21 such sadhana. Let's go to the 22nd sadhana. Harahar garva parityajyatam. Renounce pride. How often? All the time. Haraha. Haraha means again and again and again. Garva is pride. Parityajyatam. Oh. Let's go through this. Okay, so harahar garva parityajyatam. Garva is pride. Parityajyatam means let it go, renounce the pride. How often? Harahaha. That means again and again and again. So what are we supposed to do? Not have the pride. That is what we are supposed to do. So once again, it is the same thing. What is it? I am body, I am mind, I am intellect, I am ego. These are my possessions. What is pride? Pride is when we have succeeded in the past, we remember that. When we have failed, we don't want to remember. But when we have succeeded in the past, we remember that. And we keep repeating that. So pride means ego, but that ego of the past success. And that pride times 1,000 is arrogance. And people notice the arrogance right away. Don't ever underestimate people. People are very smart. If we brag about ourselves, the other people find out, hey, stop it now. They may not tell you, but they tell themselves, stop it, enough. I heard it, okay? So ego is me and myness. That is ego. That is who I am. Pride means abhiman, or the pride of the success in the past. And arrogance is the same success times 1,000. That is arrogance. Now, what Shankaracharya says is that arrogance is very destructive. People think you are out of your mind. That is what arrogance is. That is what pride is also. But people like to mention their success. So we like to talk about it, that, oh, I did this. Oh, I'm this much successful. Oh, I have such a big house. Or we talk about children, that my son is this much educated. My daughter is this much educated. My son came first in this one. My son has a fantastic job. My daughter got married to so-and-so. And then that's not enough. When you come to my age, my grandson, my granddaughter, and we just keep repeating that in front of everybody. That is pride, that it's my success. My success, why? Because it is my success. This is because of me that I have this child whom I trained. My son, I trained so well. I trained my son. I made my son who he is. I made my daughter who she is, absolute nonsense. We all came in this world with our previous lives, vasana, sanskar, and karma. Excuse me. So, if our karmas were good in the previous life, we are going to be successful. If our punya was plenty, the result of that punya, which I get it in this life, is success. If I have my sanskar in the previous life, education in the previous life, I bring that intelligence to this life. If I have my habits of the previous life, I bring it to this life. Then I enhance it in this life. You can see that even one father, one mother with two children, even twins, are completely opposite. How did that happen? They have the same genes, same father, same mother, same house, same food, same education, same training. And one says, I am going to be a doctor. The other says, I'm going to be a lawyer. They are completely opposite. And not both of them are, thank God, educated. But one might become very smart and another is the opposite of it. Same parents. How did that happen? Because they got same genes. Why should it happen? Well, because what they are is what they brought from the previous life. So we unnecessarily take the pride in what we know. Is that, oh, this is because of me. And what if he fails in SSC? Or what if he fails in the college? What if he stops studying? What if he has only a job in McDonald's? He's not my son. Can we say that? We can't. So what are we proud about? Yes, you did take care of that child very well. But this is our nature. This is what we do because we want to be known in the society that I am the best person. Not that my son is the best person. I am the best person. Why? Because I taught that to my son. My son's success is my success. That is the one way I project it to this world. So I am not praising my son. I mean to praise myself. That is again pride. It boils down to my pride. It doesn't, well, we use other people to praise ourselves. That's what we do. We praise our children and grandchildren. Oh, he's so cute. Why? Because he's my grandson. It's not that he is cute and beautiful and handsome and intelligent because he's his father's and mother's son, but he's my grandson. This is the way the whole society is. This is the way every single person is. This is the people's mind. This is how we work. And what did Shankaracharya says is that no, go back. Go back. It's not you. It is that person. So don't have the pride. So then what do you have? In 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, we just went through in another class. That 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita has only 23, 24 slokas. And in first 3 slokas, Bhagavan Krishna describes 26 great quality, Daivit Vritti of all the people. And then in the remaining 21 slokas, he described Asurik Vritti. So in first 3 slokas, he described Rama. And the remaining 21 sloka, Lord Krishna described Ravana. So that pride is the quality of Ravana. We see the arrogance of Ravana. So Bhagavan says, don't be Ravana, be Ram. So what does Ram had? Humility. Humility. He just went to forest for 14 years, left the house, without any argument, just because he found out that this is what my father wants me to do. Actually, this is what my mother wants me to do. My father didn't even tell me that Ram, go to jungle. And he went inside, he took off his crown, he took off his clothes, put on the clothes of a guy who is living in forest, and came back and bowed down to all of his three mothers, and then said, okay, I'm leaving. Humility. How many times Bhagwan Ram, he himself, touched the feet of Vasishthaji and his parents. Humility. See how the people were. These are Indian people. And Mishri-ji knows extremely well. We spent 2 years in Trinidad. People came to Trinidad 150 years ago. They came from India. They were brought in the ship by the Britishers. And it is Trinidad, Guyana, which is the Suriname, and few other islands.
Jamaica.
When they came in the ship, they brought only one thing, Ramayana. That is the place they are from, Bihar mostly. So they brought Ramayana. Even today, when they do puja, they will do not only arati of Bhagavan, they will touch the feet of the parents, the grandparents, the elderly, the educated, the jnanis, the pandit, and they will do arati of every one of them. When I came here, I had a difficult time even putting two hands together. And I wouldn't bow down to anybody. Very rare, very rare. And then I see that, I say, oh my God, this is the culture. It is our culture. This is the way we were. And what happened to us? How did we forget the whole thing? We started shaking hands instead of joining hands. And we stopped touching the feet of the elderly. Some people still do, but arati we really don't do of our parents. But that was our culture. Why was that? And why is it still popular among the people who are living 150 years back? It's because that brings humility. It brings down our ego. That ego is killing us. That is destroying us. That is what Shankaracharya says. So, do puja, do paduka puja, do namaskar. It's perfectly fine to touch the feet of the other people. Pandits and swamis and of course Bhagwan. And that brings humility in us, which is a very good quality in us. So we don't want to be Ravana, we want to be Rama. Okay, let's do the next one. Dehe hammati ruyatam. It means give up the wrong impression, delusory misconception that I am the body. I am the body. That idea has to be given up. All our problems are because I am the body and I am the mind. Actually, all these three are very similar statements. And about a couple of different times, Bhagavan told us that follow the idea that I am Atman, I am Brahman. So I am the body is opposite. And that's what is here. I am the body. Now, Hinduism does not reject the theory of evolution. It is that theory is fine with us. That Once upon a time, there were unicellular organisms, and they grew and grew and grew, mutated, evolution, and became vanaspati, little germs, little organisms, ultimately advanced animals, and ultimately humans. So humans is the highest and the most intelligent of all the species so far. And we have what, 8.4 million species. But the best of those is humans. And we are only 7 billion. The other species are way much more. Count the mosquitoes. How many mosquitoes are there in the world? But they are larger in number, but not higher in evolution. We, the humans, are the highest in the evolution. So we have intellect. Intellect is a decisive mind. That is intellect. The fluttering mind, changing mind is called mind, and decisive mind is called intellect. So we have the intellect. So we think. The cats and dogs and the animals and lions, they don't think that much. All they think is that, what do I eat and how do I make more babies? That's all they think. But they don't think rationally of all the actions that they take. They don't think that, oh my God, I'm killing this deer or I'm killing this beast. He or she must be going through a lot of pain. They don't, because they have advanced mind, but they have very little intellect. We have a lot of intellect. So we, the humans, have very high intellect. So we can think, and we have an opportunity to think. So now we can think higher. Who am I? Only species who ask that question, who am I, are the humans. The other species never ask the question, who am I? Where did I come from? Where am I going? What was my last life? What is the purpose of this life? And where am I going after this life? No other species asks that question. We ask that question. But we forgot again. What do we remember? We remember that I am the body. Every single problems are because of the body. And we know that. We can sit down and analyze. So whether it is a physical problem, or it is a mental problem, or it is an intellectual problem, or it is an economic problem, or it is a social problem. Why are those problems we have in life? That's because of I am this body and I am this mind. All the problems belong to body and mind. Imagine a mind is clean, mind is with very high level functioning. Why would we be ever unhappy? But we are unhappy because we think we are the body. All our pains are because of the body. All our insults are because of our mind and intellect. So all our suffering is because of our mind and the intellect. So when it came to understanding or education and teaching, Ramana Maharshi says, okay, what should we be doing? Should we be doing bhakti or should we be studying jnana? What should we be doing? And his answer was, as long as you think that you are this body, do bhakti. When you start thinking that I am not this body, I am my Atman, now you are ready to be a sannyasi. Now you are ready to get the moksha. Now you are ready to get the eternal happiness. But it is when you think that I am this Atman, I am this Sakshi. But as long as you keep thinking, I'm this body, I'm this body, well, fine, go to the temple, sit there and do the meditation on the Ishvara. It's perfectly fine. So this is what we should be doing. What is the purpose of this body? Paropakarartham idam shariram. this body has only one purpose: help others. Very simple. We don't want to. Yeah, actually, we are much better off than some other people in some other country or even in India. Is that we do believe in paropakar. We do believe in taking care of the other people. We do the reasonable amount of karma yoga, and we do in a very different fashion, sometimes by just giving dan, sometimes by helping the neighbors, sometimes being nice to the other people, sometimes listening to the story of the suffering people, and sometimes actually physically, mentally, intellectually helping the people who need our help. All of that is wonderful. That is paropakar. That is upakar on other people. That is karma yoga. That is wonderful. We do to a greater extent compared to many, many other countries. But we can do even more, because that is the only thing the jnanis do. Now, I know that some of you are Jains, and you see Jain Sant, how they live life. That it is so disciplined, so beautiful. We see the Buddhist and see the Buddhist people, how when they are learned, how simple life they live. And the same thing is with our acharyas and swamis and our rishis, how simple life they lived. Well, we got to be doing that same thing too. Even if we don't leave our house, even if we live in a palace, even if we live in a 10-room house, that's okay. Our attitude can be better than what it is. And that only comes when we think, I am not my body. Because once we start thinking, I am this body, we think of nothing else. We want to keep that body healthy or happy or pampered or with a lot of objects in life, a lot of facilities and a lot of comforts. Money can only buy comforts. Money can never buy happiness. The most wealthy people are also very unhappy people in life. So money cannot buy happiness. But the moment we do paropkar, guess what? Our mind is happy. The moment you go to the temple, our mind is happy. The moment we do something else good for the people, our mind is very happy and release and relax. So that is what we need. I am the body, we need to forget. Okay, the next one. 24. Okay. Buddha Janairvadaha Parityajyatam. Give up what? Argument with the wise people, learned people. Let's say if we are in the class, in the college, right? And the professor knows the most. Now, how can we pick a little topic and argue with the professor? He is the teacher. He is the one who is teaching us the subject. He knows 100 times more than we know. And we are sitting in the class. Can we argue with him? No, we can't. The same way, the jnanis, the learned, the people who know the scriptures, the people who have a depth of the knowledge of what our religion is all about. What it says is that the wise people you must respect. And whenever we get into the depth of studies for ourselves, I did not dare to argue with my Swami. Never. Even if I ask question, I ask a question in a very polite, simple way. And once Swamiji said, and I don't understand, maybe I will clarify and ask second time. Oh, Swamiji, I didn't understand. But then third time, I never asked the same thing. Okay, now I should go and read and find out. I should open the book. He answered, and I didn't understand. He answered second time. I didn't understand. Third time, don't ask. You figure it out yourself. You can halfway find out the answer. But sometimes the answers of the jnani are so simple and so clear that one suggestion, oh God, I get it now. I understand now. But can I ever say, oh, you don't understand, Swamiji? What are you talking about? Can you tell your teacher you don't understand? Who is teaching you? Teacher is teaching you. So that's what it means, that the wise people, sometimes their answers are not in the same words that we are looking for the answer, but they do answer. And when they answer, we don't understand because of our shortcomings. It's not that the person who is answering doesn't know the answer. And even if he doesn't, it doesn't matter. You cannot continue to argue with the wise people who know 100 times more than you do. So when you are in that institution, when you live in the ashram, you realize that how respectful the leader is. And the reason why they are respectful is because they know 1,000 times more than you do. And every teacher wants that my disciple turns out to be better than me. Believe me, they are not selfish people. They want nothing from you. They don't have wealth. They don't want wealth. They live in ashram in one room. Even the biggest ashram, people live in one room. Even the biggest Swami, they live in one room, sometimes two at the most, but certainly not much more with luxury. This is it. They live a simple life. Living a simple life is 100 times better. If you have 10 rooms, now you have a problem in each one of the rooms. Something is not right. When you live in one room, you just have to fix one room. You just have to clean one room, sweep one room, wash one room. That's it. Take care of one room, one bathroom. That's it. You're done. It's much easier to live a simple life. So do not argue with the wise people. That is the meaning. It's a very good advice. Also, even when I go there, and I'm not talking about myself, but never leave a learned person without Guru Dakshina. This has been the Indian tradition. And what people usually do is that they take something when they go to see the learned person. You take some gift for him because he has nothing important in his life and he has collected nothing in his life. It's nice to recognize the knowledge of somebody else. So that is our tradition. It's a very good tradition. We should continue that. So let's summarize. Let us summarize the third shloka. So again, the third shloka had how many? 4 lines. Each one line has 2 suggestions. So totally we have 8 suggestions. What are those? These are spiritual practices. So what are the 8 spiritual practices in the third shloka? They are as follows. Right now you can read that. 1, commandments of Upanishad, 4 Mahavakya. Know the meaning, think about that meaning. 2, take refuge in Atman, in Brahman. The Brahman is correct all the time. Think of Brahman, think of Vedas. 3rd, don't unnecessarily argue and waste time. Doesn't help. 4th, follow the Shruti, follow the Vedas. 5, always think I am Atma. Actually, this is a wonderful practice, and this is what one of the teachers told us, is that every morning and every night, just remember and repeat these 2 sentences. I am Atman. I am not this body. That's it. Very simple. I am Brahman or Atman, Sakshi. I am not this body. It's the same as consciousness. That is who I am. I'm the consciousness. Okay. Renounce pride. Watch the mouth. Watch the way we talk. Calm down. Relax. Most of us have the habit. Once we start talking about ourselves, we never stop. Okay. Control. Renounce pride. There shouldn't be arrogance at all. Arrogance is always bad. Forget it. Pride, you can tolerate for a short period of time, but arrogance, you cannot tolerate. Give up the idea, I am the body. Once again, it's the same thing. Every morning, every night, whenever you have a chance, just think a little bit, 1 minute, few seconds. I am not this physical body. I am the consciousness. I am the Atman. Keep repeating and give up the arguments with the learned people. I think in next month, we will have 3 classes. I need 4 classes to finish the remaining 2 shlokas. So I'm going to go ahead right now and do 1 more sadhana before we finish today. And if I keep doing 1 or 2 more sadhanas, then I will be able to finish in next 3 classes. So let's open the next 4th shloka. Shutvya chikitsyam pratidinam bhikshoshadham bhujyatam svadvannam natujyachyatam vidivashat praptena santushyatam shitoshnadi vishayatam natu vrutha vakyam samucharyatam Audasinya sabhipsyatam janakrupa naishturyamrut sujyatam. Let us take the next statement, the next sadhana. What is this next sadhana? In hunger, I think 1 letter is missing. This is copied from another book. Online. It is and. In hunger and diseases get treated. In hunger and diseases get treated. That's okay. We'll fix it next time. That's all right. So that's all right. We can just talk about it right now. Yeah, we can. All right, so what is the meaning of the first 2 words? In hunger and diseases get treated. What does Shankaracharya mean here? Is that hunger is a disease. Just the same way, when we have a disease, when we are sick, we go to the doctor, he finds out what's wrong with you. He gives some medicine and we take the medicine and we get better. And some of the diseases we know so well that we got the headache, we just go to the bathroom, pull out Tylenol, take 2 tablets, and we are fine. When we have stomach upset, this is so common that previously, when we were young, we never had a problem after we eat. So when we were in the hostels, we used to eat like pigs. So there was a competition, right? Who can eat more gulab jamun? Or who can eat batata vada more? Who can eat more samosas? And there's a competition. And you eat 20 of those, nothing happens. Come back to the room and go to sleep. Then we got into 30s and 40s and 50s. Now what? If you eat like that, when you come home, you need antacid. And even worse now. Now people go to the party, they first take antacid. And then they go to the party because they know that they're going to pick it up. Some people take medicine in advance. Shankaracharya says, wait. You misunderstood. We must eat as if it is a medicine. If not, we will have to take medicine as if it is food. So watch out. If you don't eat right, you will end up in having medicines only all life. And we will take 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And the pharmaceutical company in America wants you to take 20 pills every morning. So they make money. That's how it is. So just watch out, okay? So disease, hunger is a disease. That's what Shankaracharya says. We all have that disease. And that disease is so bad that it comes with birth and it doesn't end until we die. All throughout the life, we have a disease, and that disease is called hunger. So we got to take care of hunger. We have to eat. We don't have a choice, but eat as if whatever is required, that's what we eat. Overeating has many problems. A little under-eating has no problem. The body gets used to. Even if from tomorrow, if you take breakfast, lunch, and dinner, or whatever you are eating now, and make it 50%, we will still live as much as we are going to live, or maybe even more. And with less of the bellyache, and the less of the requirement of antacids, and less of the medicine for diabetes, less of the medicine for blood pressure, less of the medicine for heart disease, less of the medicine for obesity. All of that will disappear. So less food is good. More food has too many problems, but the tongue doesn't listen. See that there is a war between tongue and the mind. And tongue wants more, mind wants less, and usually tongue wins. So what does Shankaracharya say? Yes, hunger is a disease. Whenever we have disease, we do go to the doctor and we do take the medicine. Sometimes we know the medicine. So whenever there is a backache, we take some pills and we know that, okay, now my backache is gone. So the disease requires medicine and the hunger requires food. Now, there is a tremendous discussion on what is sattvic food, what is rajasic food, what is tamasic food. But in very, very simple couple of languages, fruits and vegetables are good. Grains are okay. Lesser the grains, better it is. Meat and high spices are definitely not good. It falls under the category of tamasic food. And the heavy masalas or oil and fried food fall between the two, which is rajasic food. So we know what is sattvic food, we know what is rajasic food, we know what is tamasic food. The literature is available in so much abundance that we get tired of reading that much. I actually found out some and brought it here too, but I don't think I can show you. These are sattvic food, these are rajasic food, these are tamasic food. But in short, that's what it is that fruits are good, the vegetables are good, the grains are okay, the sugar is okay, but refined sugar is not okay. The nuts are good, the beans are good. All kinds of beans are good, all kinds of pulses are good. All kinds of salad is good. The milk is fine. The herbal tea is fine. What is rajasic? Rajasic is coffee or concentrated coffee and tea. Onions and garlic, some people put it in rajasic, some people put it in tamasic. A little bit spices, once again, is okay as a sattvic. A heavy spices is automatically rajasic, and avoid it as much as we can. Fried food doesn't fall into sattvic, it always falls into rajasic. Eat less, but we can eat. Chocolate is there, salt is there, all of that is rajasic. And tamasic is red food, red meat. Any kind of meat is tamasic, any kind of life is tamasic. Alcohol, bad. Avoid it as much as you can. Alcohol even falls into addiction category. So we definitely have to control that. Heavy food, heavy cheese, double cheese pizza, no good. That falls into tamasic food. Canned food falls into tamasic food. Yesterday's food falls into tamasic food. Rotten food falls into tamasic food. Tobacco, it falls into tamasic food. Soda and all kinds of drinks fall into tamasic food. So avoid as much as possible. But we all need food. We have to eat. Just watch what we eat. And there is more about the food coming up, which we'll talk about next time. So I think we are meeting 3 times in next month, and we will be able to finish this book. We will continue with the food, because there is much more coming up, a couple of more shlokas coming up about the food, and we will talk about it next time. Any question? Any question about anything we studied so far?
Okay, I have question.
Please go ahead.
आपने कहा कि एनिमल्स के पास इंटेलेक्ट नहीं होता, right? Okay, is that intellect they don't have as compared to human? I mean, at their level, they do have some intellect. That's how some animals can be trained better than the others.
Yes, yes. I will describe a little bit in more detail. Plant kingdom has a physical body and a very little mind. So if you take a little plant and put it on this table and the window is right there, that plant will go towards the sun. That is intellect. That is mind. Sorry, mind.
Okay.
Plant has completely fully developed body and a little bit of mind. Animals have fully developed body, fully developed mind, and very small intellect. That's why they can be trained. And that is true with all of them. Birds can be trained, animals can be trained, fish can be trained. All of them have small intellect, but not fully developed intellect, but fully developed body and mind. So fully developed mind, that's why the animals can really hunt. They know that is my food, and they plan many ways to hunt that another animal because they got to eat, and that's all they eat. And they plan it very well, and you can see on Animal Channel. And they can be advanced trained for the purpose of the humans. So because that little intellect can be trained well. And the humans have fully developed body, fully developed mind, and fully developed intellect. That's why if we do not use intellect properly, we commit pap and punya. Animal never commits pap and punya. Even one animal will kill another animal or 1,000 animals in their whole life. That is not a pap because they don't have fully developed intellect. We have fully developed body, fully developed mind, fully developed intellect. Yes, animals do have a little intellect, but not enough to be responsible for what they do. But they can be trained.
They have instinct.
Yeah, they function on instincts, that these are eatable things, these are not eatable things. This is the way I produce more animals, and that is my job to do that before I die. They know it very well. Even amoeba knows that before I die, I have to create another amoeba. So even the unicellular organism knows. That is actually the definition of life. The definition of life is, it must include two things. One, a free willing movement. Even the trees move, we move, the insects move, the mosquitoes move, every life moves. And two, every life produces another life, reproduction. So that's the definition of life. Yes, the animals do live on instincts.
So this is Dr. Kapadia, this is called evolution.
Yes, that is definitely evolution. And that is Darwin's theory also. We Hindus don't challenge Darwin's theory. We agree, it's fine. And that's the history. That's okay. We accept the history. But their way of explaining is that this happened automatically. And our way of explaining it, no, it cannot happen automatically. There is a superior power. In the absence of that power, nothing happens. So we modified that. And that is what our religion believes. And that is what is written. But yes, we agree with the theory of evolution. That we have no problem with that.
Jatanji, just clarity, quick question if I may.
Please.
Going to Darwin's theory of evolution. So when you say that we don't agree it's automatically, do we mean by that Hindus do not agree that there was an evolution of ape
we do agree. Marie, we do agree, but we have a little further explanation. We do agree, and we know that that is the history. How can you not agree with the history? So we agree with the Darwin's theory of evolution, but we do believe something more. And what is that more? That nothing is possible without a higher energy. And that higher energy we don't see with our naked eyes, but in its absence, no life is possible.
Right, so that higher energy is just the sentiencing that Atman gives in its apparent reflection to everything.
Absolutely correct, yes.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so
Jatanji, sorry,
yes.
one more question.
Please.
Is there debate among Hindus? Because I've been taking Vedanta's classes for a long time with different teachers, and some of our teachers from our Chinmayananda mission believe that animals do not have any type of intellect, but in your classes, you have shared that the belief is that they do have a limited intellect. So I always thought that animals function by instinct, no intellect at all. But and one of the teachers that I had for many years agreed to that. However, that does not seem to be what your understanding and what you're sharing with us is.
No, Marie, what I just told you is very clearly, unequivocally described by Gurudev. And I have no doubt in my mind. Our scriptures say that very clearly also, that the plant kingdom has only physical body, very minuscule mind. Animal kingdom has fully developed body, fully developed mind, and very minuscule intellect, and humans have all three fully developed. There is it is a clear-cut thing. I don't think there is a controversy there.
Oh, okay. So then it is believed that animals from the smallest to the greatest have a limited amount of intellect.
Yes,
not just instinct.
Yes, absolutely. Instincts are 100% there. But on the top of that, they do have the decision-making power. That is a limited power, but they do make the decisions, and they can be trained to make more decisions. You saw even yesterday and today on the television that when they were searching for humans, they took the dogs, and those dogs were trained to smell the body of a human. So now the dogs will decide there is a possibility that under this rock there is a human alive. So the dog can figure that out, and actually they can figure that out better than we do.
And it's correct in thinking that in the case of the animal kingdom, the more of all a species is by nature, as in the case of dogs, lions, dolphins, whales, gorillas, chimpanzees, their intellect is by far more evolved than that of a bumblebee, an ant, or a mosquito.
Yes, that is correct statement too. Marie, that is correct again. So some animals have a little higher intellect than the other animals. So now you can train those animals way better. That is true. And it is true with birds also, that some of the birds can be trained to do certain things. In good old days, in our scriptures, the birds used to take the message from one kingdom to another kingdom.
Yes.
They were
Do
trained.
animals of higher trained intellect, is it correct to say that they just, because they're not attached to almost anything,
Correct.
is it correct to say that in some way they are more evolved than we are because of the fact that
No,
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 that
they are
the
not more
instinct that they
evolved.
have is not at all what leads
Yeah.
to their detachment. Their detachment is just how physically
Yeah,
and
that detachment in animals, that when the babies grow up to a certain degree, the parents or the mother will let the baby go of his own. In that sense, it is once again intention, and that is intuition. That is their way of their development. And in a way, what they are doing is basically they are having the babies not in the same family. So the two children, a son and the daughter, are male and female of the one parent or the one species. They are separated. So the males are thrown out, hoping that those males will have the babies with other group of the same animals. So they separate them out. And that is also instinct. They don't have the knowledge that having the children between brother and sister will create some problems in the babies which are born. They don't know that, but it is the instinct that yes, the male has grown up, get out of here. And
well, in some ways, intellectually, when it comes to children, they're more advanced than we are in
I
when
don't
it's
know
time
if
to
you
let
call it
go
advance.
and time to let them move on
Okay.
and not worry about them or be hovering over them or
That instincts are working.
And Dr. Kapadia, I think last time also in the other lecture, I mentioned that here, these days, I'm staying with my daughter and they had a little puppy, they got it. And they taught him in the morning when Nani gets up, you have to do Jai Jai to Nani. So every morning when I open the door, he comes and he touches my feet and then he goes away. He knows every morning without fail. Then
Yes,
they
yes.
go and say good morning to Nani and then he comes.
Right.
But if you teach them, they are, I see him, how he's learning all the things, And then
Yes.
in the Kirtan, we were talking with one of the Shiv Bhakta. She has a parrot. And when she sings Bhajan, Vittala, Vittala, that the parrot also starts singing,
Correct, correct, correct.
So in many ways, we can conclude that the children in the animal kingdom have a greater respect for their elders than the children in the non-animal kingdom.
It is, if we can train them, then very, very nice.
So now you can close and I will start here. You got a few minutes left. Om Purnamidam Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Hari Om.
तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् Om Bhuvaswah Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Trayambakam yajamahe sugandhim pushtivardhanam urvarukamivabandhanam mrityormokshiramamritan. Om Trayambakam yajamahe sugandhim pushtivardhanam Puravarukameva bandhana mrityormokshiramamritat. Om Trayambakam yajamahe sugandhim pushtivardhanam Puravarukameva bandhana mrityormokshiramamritat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya Loka Samastha Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samastha Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samastha Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Yom Shanti Antariksham Shanti Prithvi Shanti Rama Shanti Roshadaya Shanti Vanaspataya Shanti Vishvedeva Shanti Brahma Shanti Sarvaram Shanti Shanti Reva Shanti Sama Shanti Redi. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
अभी
Thank you.
हम जतिन जी से फ्यूचर डेट्स पूछना भूल गए, मेरे को लगा था कि वो रुकेंगे थोड़ी देर।
चले गए।
वो-
भावना बहन से शायद बात कर लेंगे. भावना बहन is available? She's around?
No, she's not here, so that's why we wanted to ask the dates. But he
Oh.
did mention 3 classes in the next month.
Yeah.
को
But
अगर कोई तकलीफ हो तो हम लोग उनसे जान सकते हैं.
तो आप जान लीजिए, बता दीजिएगा कि next
Yes.
अगर next month में he's thinking of 3 classes, then what are those dates? And if he's thinking
Okay.
of 4 classes, then
I think he
obviously then
said,
all.
no, I think he said 3. So we'll figure
Yeah.
out. We'll talk to him and we'll give you the dates.
Okay, that will be great.
Okay.
Okay, anything else? We are done
I think we're good.
All right, thank you so much. Have a nice weekend. Enjoy.
You handled it good, Promila ji. Excellent.
Thanks.
Excellent. Really beautiful.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank
Good
you.
night.
Thank you. safe weekend, everybody.
Thanks, you too.
Be safe.